Oh my gosh, hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't have my topwater out. Oh no. Oh, I gotta get my Rico out. Ooh, oh, I got him. Boy, that is so much fun. I don't know how big these fish are, but they're fun. Oh, he's just a little guy. Oh man, I had to pull out my topwater as soon as I got here, just because I'm seeing these fish bust shad. Come here, dude. Don't you get me stuck now. There we go, be a good boy. Look at that. Little guy, but a fun one. I always say that when I come to Bartlett. But when you see him busting topwater like this, folks, he's just a little guy. But look how fat his little belly is. We pulled up. I thought, well, I wonder if I need to pull out a worm. We just got here, and I pulled up, and here they are busting shad. How fun is that? Man, sometimes you can get in a school of bass when they're busting these shad, and it can be on. You find the right school of good sized fish, and it's a lot of fun. You know, it's real. People ask me all the time, when you first get to a lake, what do you do? Well, we know right now it's summertime. We're here in the summertime, but we got here a little bit late. It's in the afternoon. First place I like to head to, honestly, is I look for points that have drop-offs and things like that where I can get started, you know? And here we pull up, and these fish are out here busting shad right off the bat. I pulled out my little Ned rig thinking I was gonna throw a limit out craw here. And, oh, a little one just hit it. We'll see. Oh, there he is. Right there. Oh, I lost him. Oh, I lost him on that Rico. Let's see if I can't get back out there. Maybe we got some of his friends all ready to go. Let it sit there a minute. It seems like they like it when it's sitting there, that feather just sitting there. One thing you have to be aware of this time of year is, well, anytime you're out fishing, be aware of your surroundings. See what's going on. Keep your eyes peeled. I'm always looking around. Try to keep an eye on your bait, obviously, but you want to see what's going on around you. Keep your ears peeled. You know, you want to hear for those bass jumping or busting shad. A lot of times your ears will tell you real quick if they're busting behind you, or if it's just a catfish or a carp or something busting, like right here. The minute you start seeing little tiny blips coming up, a lot of times it's bass chasing those shad, those threadfin shad. Oh, there's one. He hit it right as I twitched it. One thing about Bartlett, you're almost guaranteed there's fish here, but the size, you got to work for the size a little bit sometimes, but man, that's fun. All right, there's two fish, pretty quick, not big ones. There we go. Up, there he goes. All right, catch and release. Let's find some more. Now you just work the point. You know, we just showed up to this point. Just kind of work the point a little bit and see what's going on. Oh, there's one. Oh, he was just a little one though. Just a little one. What we're actually throwing is the gold digger color. And I'll tell you, I've had a lot of success on this color all over the lakes here in this state. And it's one of my all-time favorites. I like lightning shad when they're chasing the shad, but I didn't have time to tie it on. And you can see it's working pretty good as it is. A lot of times it could be cadence, whatever we're doing, but it's working. And like I said, that medium action taipan rod is huge, but in saying that, I pair that up with a fast retrieve Bass Pro Johnny Moore Signature Series reel. Get these at Bass Pro Shops, and you need something kind of fast retrieve. Don't get something with a 5.1 gear ratio reel or anything. You need to get up in the 6s, 6-to-1, something like that, so you can retrieve this in pretty fast. That'll help you a ton when you're doing this kind of fishing. Oh, there's one. He hit it right there. Boy, they hit it so ferociously, you don't even know what size these fish are. Oh my goodness. The little Rico bass here at Bartlett Lake. You want to learn how to catch some fish on different techniques. I'll tell you, Bartlett has got to be one of my all-time favorites for sure to tell people to go to. And it's loaded full of fish, and it has its days. You know that it does. Always get a tight grip. Don't let them get you. There you go. Yeah, got the hooks in my deal, but there you go. This particular bait right here is a lot of fun. This is actually the real Rico. I can throw it on the bait caster, make a little bit longer casts with it, and it's got a little chartreuse in it. I had this tied on because where I was, which was basically Lake Havasu last, there was a lot of small bluegill up in the areas, and the bass were getting up there eating them, so I thought something with a little chartreuse tip on it. But you know, it's still, this thing, you can tell how much they've eaten on this thing. It's crazy. I love it. Oh, that one hit with a little bit more ferociousness. Did you see what happened there, folks? Now, well, this is the cool thing about your cadence when you're throwing this kind of bait. Make sure he's got those hooks good. The cadence on this is what made that fish really go after this bait. I was popping the bait across there, and a lot of times you'll pop the bait slow, move it slow. Well, every so often, it doesn't hurt you to just give it a couple of like 3 or 4 quick pops. Pop, 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 like it's gonna run. Because if you have a fish looking at it, debating whether he's gonna fire on it or not, and he sees it moving kind of slow, and you start popping it fast, it's almost like the bait figured out something's watching and it's running from it, and boy, they'd come up and you'll get a ferocious strike out of it. Ooh. Did he get it? Oh, he got it. This one feels like he could be a little bigger, or I got him hooked sideways. One of the two. Sometimes you'll get that bait hooked in them sideways. Come on up here. I want to see you. Oh, nope. Yep, we got him hooked sideways. So he came up and splashed at it, and look, we got him in the top here by the bottom hook. Those fish are dangerous. You got to be careful with these kind of fish, holding them and stuff, because they can get you. Let me get my pliers out. He went up there and slapped at it. Look, that's what happens when you have good hooks on your baits right there. They'll get up there and try slapping at it. I got it. And what they do is they reach up there to try to kill it, and they come back down, and then they take a look at it, and if it starts falling down or something, they'll run right back over and grab it. There we go. All right, you're loose, buddy. Have fun. Little guys. So, in saying that, now here we are. I'd kind of like to go where I might be able to get a bigger bite. So, I'm thinking, man, there's a lot of fish in this area, but it just seems like there are a bunch of those little ones. Okay, so we know we caught a bunch of little ones right here. We just started. We're running low on daylight, so I want to utilize the time the best I can to try to find some bigger bites. So we're just going to make a little run. It's about a 2-minute run right around the corner here. Little bluffier stuff. See if I can catch them, the bigger ones coming out of the deeper water with the same bait, and see if we can get a bigger bite. You see that? And I got him. And I got him. Yes. Yo! That's what I'm talking about, son. Little Bartlett Lake bass. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good fish, folks, on that Rico. I'll tell you what. I don't want to lose him. I'm trying to. Oh! Come on, son. Don't you do that to me. Get over here. That's a good fish for Bartlett Lake, folks. Those are the ones we came to look for. Now remember I said, come on. Come on. Look at that fish, folks. That's a good fish for Bartlett Lake. Hit the backs. Now remember, I said I wanted to find something where we can find bigger fish. We pulled right up. We just pulled up And there you have it. Beautiful fish. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let me grab this brand new scale from DD26. It's my new cull scale. And I love it because I just turned it on there. Let's just see what he weighs. It's got the little grips, holds the fish and you don't poke any holes in it. Okay, well, he's a $1.70. I think it's more than $1.70. Maybe I ought to refresh that. Hold on a minute. Hate to tell you that, but that fish is much more than that. Yeah, it says $1.70. That fish looks every bit of 2 or 2.5 pounds. That's how us fishermen are. We think we got 3-pounders. No, that's every bit. That's every bit. But that's what a cool deal. I love it. Oh, it says battery replace. That's probably my problem. I've been using the ton out of it, but hey, that was a good fish, I'm telling you. So here's the deal. I pulled up and I said, let's go hit the bluffs. Remember I said that? And now we're gonna hit the backs of these little pockets. And you can also hit the points, things like that. But man, this is where you might be able to call some of those bigger fish up out of the deep water. And I love that. You know, I'm throwing a 12-pound test monofilament line for this bait. And I'm gonna tell you why. One of the reasons I'm doing that is because monofilament will float up and it's got just a little bit of stretch in it where it'll keep the fish from coming unhooked. And then I'm actually pairing that up with a beautiful medium action taipan rod. It's got a nice little tip on it. I got a great backbone, but the tip on it, you know, it's not like real flimsy, but it's flimsy enough. And it gets the job done. That way you get the hooks inside the fish. And when you fight the fish a lot of times, and a lot of people don't understand this when you're fighting a fish, especially with treble hooks, sometimes you gotta give a little. And what I mean by that is a lot of people will hold the rod up and just keep cranking and keep cranking and keep cranking. At that point, you might lose the fish. So one of the most important things to do when you catch a fish like that is when you're fighting the fish a little bit and he goes to swim down and take, give him a little bit even with your arms as you're reeling in. You know, let your arms go out a little bit, let him take the line a little bit, and we're in open water here, you know. So they're not going very far. Best thing to do is keep them hooked. That was fun. Let's do that again. Oh, look in front of me. Now see, these are shad that are just swimming across. There's nothing really coming up and busting them. They're all just kind of swimming along. Now, when you start seeing the fish come up and bust them, they'll start scattering all over the place. Fish will come out of the water. It's a lot of fun. Right now, they're cruising. I call them cruisers. They're almost waiting for the bass to push them up against the shoreline because that's how the bass corral them and all of them start getting active, you know, when they can get them pushed up against it's almost a game between the shad and the bass. Hey folks, for the tip of the week, I think one thing at least when you're out by yourself and you're out fishing, that's important to try to do is a lot of times when you get on these steep walls, like we're doing here, is to parallel the bank as best you can. Bring that bait alongside, because when your boat's sitting in 30 foot of water, you know, 20, 30 foot of water off these bluffy walls, sometimes even 50 foot, you want to parallel the bank and bring it alongside the bank as best you can instead of pulling it off the bank. So that's something to really think about when you're fishing, and that way you stay in the strike zone a lot longer and you're not pulling yourself out of there. So in order to keep yourself in the strike zone, parallel, and you'll catch a lot more fish. Folks, I am so excited about my brand new Nitro Z21 XL, the 2022 series. And I'll tell you what, the thing that excites me a lot about this boat, and something I've changed this year, was number one, going to Garmin's. I love my Garmin graphs and my trolling motor. But the one thing I did go to is going from regular batteries to lithium batteries. I went to Next Gen, and they had a 36 volt battery that is just crazy insane. And Next Gen batteries are so easy, they're quick to charge. The batteries last all day long, and I'm using one battery. It's one 36-volt battery. I think it weighs a little under 30 pounds. It's insane how much lighter it makes the boat by going to the lithium batteries. And in saying that, I've teamed it up with my power pole charger. Now the new power pole charger works really great, and I have them both synced in with my cell phone, so I can see what's going on. I know what my charge is. I can actually see what my charge is with the power pole charger. So between the batteries and this, I even went to a cranking battery. Now Next Gen makes a cranking battery, a lithium cranking battery. It's doing a great job. It's got a Bluetooth technology in it where you can actually see on your cell phone how much charge you have in that as well. Next Gen is the way to go. Let me tell you something. You can get 2 of those 36-volt batteries for a backup, whatever you have to do, and you're still doing really good as far as weight goes. I mean, I took a lot of weight by taking all the main batteries out of this and going to those lithiums, and I'm lasting a lot longer throughout the day. I fished my first big tournament with it for 3 days straight at Lake Havasu, had my live wells on high, I had my trolling motor on high, working the river area, I had all my 3 graphs running, and I came back in and my batteries still had well over 50% charge in them. I'm telling you folks, and that was a 9-hour tournament for me. So get them. It only takes about 1.5 hours, 2 hours to charge them, and they trickle charge really fast. So that's another asset to having lithium. Grab some Next Gen batteries. You're gonna love them. You know, when we first showed up here, I thought, man, we got an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes at best to do anything. And I thought, man, you know, it's summertime, these fish, probably go off the end of the points and stuff and catch some fish, because that's what we've been doing during the summertime night fishing type deal at Roosevelt and things like that. But there's nothing more fun than to get a little bit of a surprise when you start seeing the shad getting blowed up by these bass. We got a little bit of a surprise there and found us a nice little topwater bite, which was a lot of fun. Starting to slow down a little bit now, but like I said, it was fast and furious for a few minutes. All right, well, it's starting to get a little bit dark on us, almost too dark to film. But I'll tell you what a blast, come out here. Folks, you can get out, even in the heat of the summer, towards the last part of the evening, get out where you have yourself about 2 hours maybe, you know, and come out and have a blast with these fish. They really get to going just before dark. And we had a blast, we found some fish, and I'll tell you what, don't discount that Rico. You'll have a lot of fun with it. And we didn't even get to try the different colors, but look at how beat up that thing is. I mean, I've caught a lot of fish on this bait. It's probably time to retire it and put another one on, but it's just like the old bass fishermen always say, just like I have for years, is when you find a bait that works for you really good and you catch fish on it consistently, it's hard to change. There's something about it that you got a lot of faith in. But yeah, this one's about ready to retire for sure. But thanks for joining us on the show. We've had a great time right here at Bartlett Lake, and get out and catch some fish. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.